My partner Tommy and I had been driving for a full day, on our way to a conference on the other side of the country. We were making great headway and were on track to arrive at our destination late the following morning. Unfortunately, the problem was that Tommy's impulse shortcut had taken us up a harrowing mountain pass, and we found ourselves on top of a steep, winding road with gut-churning overlooks around each bend. To make matters worse, the snow had turned into a relentless, howling blizzard, and our progress had ground to a near halt. The plan had been to continue through the night, but now I was insisting that we stop, seeing a sign for a bed and breakfast high up on the mountain drive. Wind-torn billboards showed a charming, century-old manor, flanked by snapshots of warm cocoa, freshly made beds, and hot breakfast items. I turned into the driveway, which had been recently plowed, ignoring the objections of my longtime partner.
This seems like a really bad idea.
What are we supposed to do? I can't keep driving in this. It's a blizzard and we're on top of a mountain. If we keep pushing it, we'll end up going off a cliff.
I know, but the guy at the gas station said to expect foul weather, remember? Colder than a witch's tit and twice as ugly? That's what he said. Maybe we should just keep going.
We're stopping, and that's final.
Why?
It's dark, I'm tired, and you're not the one driving, remember? Because you refuse to get your eyes adjusted.
I can't drive at night, that's all. I've always had this problem.
Yeah, sure. And you've always squinted at the phone when you read directions, too, right? You just don't want to admit you're getting older.
I'm 10 years younger than you. Look, I don't want to argue. Can we just keep going, please? Since when do you have a problem staying up all night?
Since the snow started up and I don't want to die. I'm calling it, and that's final. Now come on, what's really bugging you? Why don't you want to stop at this place? It's bed and frickin' breakfast. Are you afraid of scrambled eggs?
That's not funny. You know how much I hate eggs.
You don't have to eat the eggs. I'm sure they'll make you pancakes.
I don't care about breakfast. This place has red flags all over it. An old mansion on a mountain peak, a pair driving in a storm, stuck in bad weather. Don't you see how cliche this all is? I mean, come on. Haven't you seen The Shining?
It's the longest driveway I've ever seen. It just goes on and on forever. Here we go. Man, look at the size of this place. Wow. Imagine how much it must have cost to build way up here.
My point is, okay, you haven't seen The Shining. Clearly. Or you wouldn't be doing this. Have they at least seen the movie Clue? No? Oxflight Manor? What about that rom-com with Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston?
How many times do I have to tell you? I don't own a television.
No one does anymore. Okay, how about audio? Did you listen to that podcast, Deadly Manners, with Kristen Bell? No? Okay, what about Bedside Manor, written by Jack Townsend? Because that is what's happening right now. I don't like it. This is too on the nose, damn it. It's practically a reboot.
I keep telling you, you listen to too many podcasts. Those things are going to rot your brain.
You're old.
And you're young and gullible. Now let's go inside already. I'm tired and I want somebody to make me eggs in the morning, okay? Now quit complaining. I'll pay for the room if that's what you're angling at.
Deal. The fake creepy British butler answers that door. We're out of here. Got it?
Yeah. We got out of the car and made our way through the knee-deep snow, passing under the watchful gaze of gargoyles who stood sentry up above, and eventually arriving at the threshold of the old mansion. It felt warmer being in the lights of the front porch, in the shelter of the overhanging eaves. The storm was picking up, and I told myself again I'd made the right decision. I just hoped they had a room for us, and that the butler wasn't British. I rang the doorbell, and a man in a sharp black suit with long coattails answered the door, speaking in a high-born British accent. I tried my best not to cringe at the sound of it, but failed.
Good evening, gentlemen. We've been expecting you. Welcome to the Sanguine Manor.
Pleasure to meet you, sir. Goodbye.
Please excuse my partner. He just doesn't realize how lucky we are we found somewhere to stop before he froze to death in the snow. My name is Alan, and this is my, business associate, Tommy. We've had a long drive, and we're hoping to rent a room here for the night. Anything you have available would be fine.
Well, of course. We were expecting 2 more guests, actually, but they haven't shown up due to the storm, I'm afraid. There is room for precisely 2 more people in this house. No more and no less.
No room for us then. We don't want to take the rooms of 2 other wary travelers caught in this terrible weather. We'll sleep in the car. Forget we were ever here. Please carry on with whatever atrocities you are currently engaged in, and we will be on our way.
No, you misunderstand. You're more than welcome to stay. We desperately require 2 more participants for this activities.
Dude, 3 strikes and you're out. This guy is Tim Curry reincarnated.
I'm pretty sure Tim Curry's still alive.
Oh, that reminds me. I forgot Rocky Horror Picture Show. Now can we please, for the love of all that is holy, leave this place?
What sort of activities exactly?
You gotta be kidding me.
Well, it's a murder mystery dinner theater. Fully interactive. Everyone plays a character and... Step inside, please. We're bringing snow into the foyer and a damnable chill with it. Gusts like this will make the entire house drafty in an instant. And you wouldn't believe the costs of heating this manor during the winter months as is.
I swear, if you go inside, I will never forgive you.
Oh, thank you. You've been so kind. Get your ass in here and stop being so rude. This isn't a horror podcast, it's real life. Everything's gonna be fine. As we stepped inside the old manor, I looked back over my shoulder to see snow piling up even further, covering the car in a blanket of glittering white. I saw a plow in the distance, traveling up the steep mountain pass, and wished for a moment we had stayed on the road, following behind the safety of that vehicle. I imagined us back on the road again, seeing the lights of the plow in the rear view and waving it past, giving the driver the peace sign. Then following its red glowing rear lights over this hellish mountain, to the safety and sanity of warmer weather on the other side. The whole thing did seem a little off, although I did not want to give my partner Tommy the satisfaction of admitting that. A murder mystery dinner theater? In an old mansion on top of a mountain? In a howling blizzard? The creepy British butler and the fact that we were about to be stuck here, like characters in a bottle episode on a television show. Yes, I watch TV, but don't tell Tommy. I like to lord it over him. It was all too much to handle. But then the plow went by and blocked us in with a high wall of slush, and I felt a wave of certainty that we were stuck. At least for the night. We would just have to make the best of it. We entered through the enormous front door, and the butler quietly locked it shut behind us, tucking the key hastily into his pocket. A fact that did not go unnoticed by me or my partner. We were trained to observe such things, after all. It was a feature of our profession. The foyer was warmly lit by a crystal chandelier, which hung suspended from the ceiling. Oil paintings and suits of armor adorned the richly appointed space. Layers of fine things collected over decades and centuries from many countries could be seen all around us. Portraits of lords and ladies, predecessors to the owners of this manor, glared down at us disapprovingly, as if wondering how such miscreants could possibly have been allowed inside their ancestral home. A fireplace burned just past the entryway, and we followed our host down a short flight of polished marble stairs to stand in its warm orange glow.
Allow me to introduce you to the other guests.
Are you all standing here the whole time, listening to everything we were saying at the door?
Yes.
Yes. And actually, it's quite rude of you to stand out there bickering for so long. You made it right draft in here. Do you have any idea how much it costs to heat a house of this size during the winter months?
My fault entirely, Admiral. I apologize. I should have invited our guests inside more promptly. Now, I should remind you all that you are playing characters. So do not use your real names, only your character names. Feel free to create whatever backstory you like to accompany the information on the cards you have been given.
Ooh, I've always wanted to do one of these. Where are our cards? Who am I playing?
Who are you? I feel like I don't even know you anymore.
Here you are, gentlemen. Please read them over and memorize the information contained within them. Then feel free to socialize with the other guests. I must go to the kitchen to check on dinner preparations. Help yourselves to the bar.
I'm gonna stop trying to convince you this is a bad idea, mostly because they have an open bar, but also because you're not listening and you have the car keys. If we die because of this, I'm blaming it 100% on you. Understand?
Yeah, I understand. You're an alcoholic. Come on, let's go get a drink and read these cards. Oh shit, I really hope I get to be the killer. That would be so cool.
I've lost all respect for you. Oh, they have McClellan's 25. Wow. We better ask how much they're charging for these rooms. Credit card's maxed. You said you're paying, right?
Yeah, I'm paying. I just hope they take Discover or this could be Applebee's all over again.
Ah, I see you boys are getting into the good stuff. Let me join you in a toast. To good liquor and great company. A warm fire and a warm meal. I'm Dick Devonshire, importer of antique antiquities and collector of fine artwork. I love a stiff drink and, this stuff tastes terrible. Do they have any ice?
Yeah, right over there.
Thank goodness. It tastes like gasoline. Is it expired?
No, I don't think so.
Don't mind him. He's barely even a man. He's pathetic.
Hey, I told you. I don't like when you say those things about me.
And I told you it's a character. I'm just doing what the card told me to do. Not really. I just really don't like him. He tried to grab my ass outside.
What you saying about me?
Nothing. Come along, boys. Not you, Dick. Allow me to introduce you to the other guests, since our mysterious host seems to have disappeared again. My name is Lilith Lavender, by the way. I'm a wealthy heiress to an illustrious fortune. I have 3 elder brothers, blah, 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 blah. I can show you my card if you want. I'm not the killer.
Well, thank you. That won't be necessary. Nice to meet you, Lilith.
Be polite, everyone. Quit drinking for a moment and say hello to our newest guests. Gentlemen, this is the Admiral, Otto von Augustine.
A pleasure to meet you both. Where are you from? Oops, I'm sorry. Just a habit. I suppose I should ask where your characters are from. Did you have time to read through your cards?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Just don't mind if I glance at it occasionally. We really weren't expecting this.
Same here, I just happened upon displays in the storm. I wasn't anticipating having to perform.
Seriously? You guys don't think that's strange at all? How about you, Lilith? Did you sign up for this?
Well, no. But I think it's fun. I've always wanted to do one of these.
Okay, so that makes 4 of us who didn't sign up for this, and nobody thinks that's even the least bit strange. What about you, man? Did you sign up for this?
I sure did. I've been looking forward to this all year. Walter Whitton. Pleasure to meet you folks. I'm a high school chemistry teacher.
And you actually paid to be here. You signed up for this.
Yes.
I hate you so much right now, Walter. You have no idea. Okay? I'll play along until this starts to get ugly. I refuse to remain in character, though. And you will not see me use any sort of Kentucky accent, no matter how much this card might insist that I do so.
Oh, come on. You're no fun.
My name is Lenny Lancaster, and I'm a chicken farmer from Kentucky. I have a wife and 2 daughters. That is all.
See, now you're getting into it. What about you, partner? What's your fellow all about?
Let's see here. My name is Philip Frankfurt, and I work at a hot dog factory. That's it?
Nice to meet you, Mr. Frankfurter. What kind of job you got at the hot dog factory? Are you a taste tester?
You're the worst.
How's it going, fellas? Man, that Dick Devonshire guy is the worst. He just tried to grab my ass. I don't think it's part of his character either. I think he's just a pervert.
Told ya.
Are you the ones who have been drinking all the alcohol? Most people don't go back for thirds until everyone has had some.
Sorry about that.
I'm Fiona Fair. Socialite, supermodel, TikTok dance trendsetter. I overheard all of you talking. You don't need to tell me your names. I have excellent hearing.
Well, congratulations, lady.
Fiona Fair. That name sounds really familiar. You're on TikTok.
Well, I was. Before my...
It looks as if you've all had a chance to introduce yourselves and get to know each other. And you've had a chance to help yourselves to the bar as well, I see. Good Lord, did someone steal a tumbler? No matter. We will replenish the supplies after supper. Please, everyone, if you will accompany me to the dining room. Dinner is served.
That was delicious. I'm stuffed.
What did you say that was again, Jeeves?
Sweetbreads.
I've never had such meaty tasting bread, Jeeves. That was spectacular. Pass the wine, please.
You drank it all.
I didn't even get any.
Neither did I. Quit complaining about it.
I don't drink wine. It's terrible for your teeth. Unless, do you have a straw?
Boo.
Ahem. Excuse me. Thank you all so much for choosing to be guests of Sanguine Manor on this hallowed and unholy night. The tradition you are about to experience is one passed down for generations. It is the lifeblood of Sanguine Manor. You are here because each and every one of you are essential to this, the most important night of the year. Now that we are almost finished dinner, we can begin the festivities. Allow me to introduce our entertainment for the evening. The talented and beautiful Sarah Starlight will be performing.
Who the hell is that?
Wow, you don't say. And so where exactly are we going to be watching this performance? I, for one, am looking forward to it.
Yes, I was getting to that if you'd let me finish. Now that you've all completed your dinner, please follow me to the lounge where our guest performer is waiting. Thank you.
I've got to take a leak, boss. Which way to the bathroom?
Right this way. Allow me to show you. Everyone, please wait in the foyer and we will proceed to the lounge once Mr. Whitton here is ready.
Oh, that's not necessary. I can just meet you all there.
Nonsense. We will wait for you. No sense interrupting the performance with people coming in and out. And she will begin to play the moment we enter the room. That is what she has been instructed to do.
Well, alright. Sorry for the delay, everybody.
Right this way.
We exited the austere dining room to find ourselves back in the grand foyer, with its old oil paintings, fine woodwork, and the plush royal maroon rug which greeted visitors upon entry. The five of us waited for Walter and Jeeves to return, so that the strange night could continue. At least the alcohol was good and free. It had an unusual taste to it, I thought, sipping from my glass, and I wondered briefly if it was due to the altitude. This is right around when things started to get strange. We were all waiting in the foyer for Walter and Jeeves to return when the power suddenly cut out. At least, I thought the power went out. I realized a second later that someone had just killed the lights in the foyer. Someone had flipped the light switch without any of us noticing. Light spilled out from a door which opened up into another room. Music began to play as Sarah Starlight began her performance ahead of schedule. There was a loud scream, and the sound of a violin clattering to the floor. Then a shot rang out. A loud, piercing sound which hurt my ears even through the thick wall. Pandemonium broke out as guests began to push and shout at each other. And then the lights in the adjacent room went out as well. Everyone was yelling and screaming, until finally Jeeves turned on the lights and stood there looking at us all like children who couldn't behave.
What is the meaning of this? What was that noise?
It sounded like a gunshot from inside the lounge.
Oh no, is she... I'm gonna go check on her.
I'll look and see if she's alright. Wait a second. Jeeves, is this all part of the thing? Oh man, you had me going there. Ugh, it's okay, everybody. It's a murder mystery game, remember?
Oh, for Pete's sake, Jeeves. You scared us all half to death. Bravo. Well done.
No. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, everyone. But this isn't part of the game. Sarah Starlight wasn't supposed to... She was just here to perform. This wasn't supposed to happen. None of this was supposed to happen.
Of course it wasn't. I told you, man. I told you this was gonna happen. But no, you wanted to stop at the creepy mansion. You never listened to me.
I'm gonna go check her pulse. Hang on. Maybe this is all just a big misunderstanding. Maybe it's part of her performance. Maybe she's just trying to get in on the fun.
Oh, please, God, let that be the truth. You, go check her out. I don't have the heart. It doesn't look good from here. Well, anything?
Hang on. No. There's nothing. No pulse. And she's not breathing. It's a real wound, too. The shot looks like it hit her center mass. Oh god, there's blood everywhere.
Get on the phone and call the cops, Jeeves. There's a murderer running around this place.
Who all was in the room? Who... Is anyone not accounted for?
Only Walter. He disappeared after supper, remember?
The phone lines are dead. It might be from the storm.
Or it could be that someone cut the phone line so we couldn't call for help. Someone needs to find Walter. He might be in danger if he's alone.
I thought he would be back by now. Everybody, wait here. I'll go find him.
You shouldn't be by yourself. Take someone with you.
I'll go. I need to take a leak anyways. I've got a gun.
Since when do you have a gun? You could be the killer.
It's always, and I'm not. Alan was standing right next to me. He can vouch for me. Right, Alan? Come on, Jeeves. Let's go find this guy.
Is everyone else accounted for? Did anybody see anyone go in or out of this room?
How do we know it isn't you and your friend working together? We don't know the first thing about you.
I was right behind Alan. It wasn't him.
There, see? And Tommy was right next to me the whole time. Did anybody see anything?
I saw someone. It looked like a man, tall with broad shoulders.
Sounds like something a short, slender, blonde killer would say. How do we know it wasn't you, Miss Innocent?
People in glass houses shouldn't throw stones, Black Widow.
What is that supposed to mean? Do you know her?
Maybe, maybe not. Maybe I just like to cause a scene.
Wonderful.
I thought he looked like a woman. A short woman, too.
You're all useless. Come on, Jeeves. Let's go find Walter before this murderer finds him first. If we're all still in here and one of us dies, we'll know it isn't one of you at least.
Sound logic, Tommy.
And you're not allowed to talk after getting us into this. I should make you go explore this creepy mansion with the creepy butler.
Ahem.
Alright, stay safe. If you see something that doesn't look right, just give a shout.
I am never gonna forgive you for this.
Well, we might as well get comfortable and pour ourselves a drink. It looks like we're going to be here for a while.
There's a dead woman right over there. How could you even think of drinking at a time like this?
Oh, hell yeah. There's fresh booze. Can you do me a favor and pour me a double? And can you also maybe not drink all of it this time?
I'll have a glass.
Me too. Pour me a double as well if you would.
What's the matter with you? You're shaking.
Just a bit overwhelmed by everything, I suppose. I'll be alright, I think.
How come you keep looking over there, Otto? Why do you keep looking at the body?
No reason. I've just never seen a dead body before. It's disturbing.
That's a strange reason to keep looking at it.
The lights went out suddenly, and we were plunged into darkness again. I realized it wasn't just the lights in the room this time. It was the whole house. The whole house was suddenly pitch black and silent as a tomb. The only sound that could be heard was our terrified breathing and the howling wind outside. When the lights turned on again, after a couple long minutes, Fiona was gone.
Did you hear that? It sounded like screaming in the walls.
Where did Fiona go? What's the meaning of this?
Welcome to the Sanguine Manor. Please allow me to take your coat. Come in out of the cold.
Thank you so much. It's freezing out there. Thought I was going to go straight off a cliff if I kept going. Pleasure to meet you. My name's Bill Burgundy.
Allow me to introduce you to the other guests. You must be exhausted from your long journey. Please, come in.
Where's Tommy and Walter, Jeeves? What about the whole situation happening in the lounge?
Tommy and Walter are fine. They both needed to use the facilities. Tommy said he needed some quality time with his phone, whatever that means.
Great. He's taking a dump. Alright. I guess we're going to be waiting for a while.
Sorry. Am I interrupting something?
Is nobody concerned that more and more people seem to be going missing by the second? Because I am. And I think I saw something in there. I think I might have seen what...
The lights went out yet again, and we were plunged back into darkness. The group screamed, and I heard movement from nearby. Something that sounded like wood scraping against wood. And then, the manor shook and heaved with a strong gust of wind, the windows rattling and a high-pitched scream emanating from the eaves. After a few long moments, the lights came on again. And this time, it was Otto who had disappeared. His voice called out from behind the walls a moment later, sounding muffled and distant, and completely terrified. What the hell is going on? Where does everyone keep disappearing to?
I'm as confused as you are. But I think Jeeves here knows a lot more than he's saying.
I have no idea what you're referring to. I am merely a servant of the house. I do the bidding of the owner.
And who exactly is the owner? Who's running this freak show? I demand to speak to the owner.
I don't think that's a very good idea, sir. I am an emissary of the house. You may speak to me as if I am the owner, for I am the eyes and ears of this place, and I also speak for it.
Okay, forget the owner. What about the cops? You must have some way to get in touch with the authorities, to tell them someone was killed.
Well, yes, there is one way.
What's that?
Down in the basement, there's an old ham radio. Maybe you could use it to call for help somehow. Lord knows I haven't the faintest clue how to use it, but maybe you could figure it out.
I'm sure I could get it going. I'm a bit of an expert at those things. Used to fix them as a hobby.
There you have it. Our new friend Bill here will fix the broken radio in the creaky basement. I'll wait here in the lounge in case any of the others come back.
Great. Then it's settled. The two of you will go down into the basement, and I'll wait up here with Dick and Jeeves.
Wonderful. Allow me to pour you a drink.
On second thought, I'm coming with you guys. But just for the record, this sounds like a really bad idea.
Jeeves showed us to a door which he opened with a rusted key. He held it open for us, smiling with a too-wide grin, revealing a steep staircase winding down into total darkness. He flipped a switch on the wall to the right, which turned on a very dim, flickering incandescent bulb halfway down the long flight. It did little to illuminate the darkness, only teasing at the details of the dank, moldy, rotting space. Ancient brick turned black with mildew and unrepaired water damage. dusty spider webs lacing the exposed woodwork. I took a tentative step and went down.
Why are we doing this again? This is a terrible, terrible idea.
We're gonna get to the radio and call for help, remember? There's a dead woman upstairs.
There is? Since when? What have you people gotten me into? Oh, man.
It was supposed to be a murder mystery dinner theater. I've never done one of these before. Thought it was gonna be fun.
Same here.
But then, right after dinner, the lights went out and we heard a gunshot. And Sarah Starlight was dead.
Wait, did you say Sarah Starlight? Where have I heard that name before?
Did anybody ask Jeeves which door it was supposed to be? There's 100 different doors down here.
Said it was all the way at the very end.
How convenient.
Help! Please, is someone there?
Did you folks hear that?
Yeah, it sounded like it was coming from behind this door.
Oh, thank God. Please, you have to help me.
Holy shit, what the hell happened to you, bud? Your arm. The top of your skull. Oh no. What did they do to you?
What do you mean on top of his... Oh, for the love of...
The sweetbreads? Oh, don't tell me.
The man had been left in this tiny dungeon of a room. The back of his skull had been crudely removed, and a portion of his brain was missing. He drooled and whimpered on the slimy brick floor, begging for us to save him. A bucket stood in one corner of the room with flies buzzing around it, which I guessed served as his bathroom. He had been locked in this room for who knew how long. We gotta get him out of here. Give me a hand, Bill.
There's blood everywhere. I can't get a grip on him.
Can you walk, sir?
I can try.
The man tried to rise on his one good leg, but he obviously had no strength left. He looked at me with his pale face and shook his head. What do we do? Should we go for the radio and then come back for him?
Don't leave me here again, please. I don't like being alone in the darkness with him.
How do we know there even is a radio? Jeeves has to know about this. He's the butler. He's probably luring us all straight into a trap.
She's right. I know it's got here and everything. This sure seems like a setup to me.
Alright. New plan. We go upstairs and sneak up on Jeeves. We tie him up, and we force him to tell us the truth about this place.
You can't stop him. He's not what you think.
We can try the telephone for ourselves as well. It might be working, and Jeeves is lying about that too.
We'll come back for you, man. Just hold tight.
The three of us went back up the stairs, only to find the door locked. Somehow I wasn't surprised when the light bulb began to flicker and burnt out at that exact moment, and we were plunged into total darkness. Not for the first time. I really wished I had listened to Tommy. Alright, I guess now we've really got no choice. We have to explore this rotten basement. Maybe there's another way up somewhere.
I hope so. I don't like this place. It's giving me the creeps.
Hey guys, I just remembered where I heard that name before. Sarah Starlight. This makes no sense though. She was a musician who died over 50 years ago. The only reason I remembered is because someone in town told me about it the other day. She was driving her car in this exact mountain the night she... Shit. Did you guys hear that? What the hell was that?
Yeah, it's been doing that a lot. Something tells me this place isn't your typical mansion. There's definitely something really weird going on here.
No shit, Sherlock.
I guess this is probably a good time to let you guys know. I'm a cop. A detective, actually. Tommy's my partner. If he's as good as I think he is, he's still alive. And he might be down here somewhere too, being held prisoner.
You're a cop? You couldn't have done something earlier?
What exactly was I supposed to do? I thought it was better not to tip my hand. After all, I'm not technically in my jurisdiction anyways. I don't really have authority up here.
Well, it's still good information to have. You got a gun with your partner?
No, I wish. I left it in my car. I was a little more trusting than Tommy about this place, but now I'm wishing I'd listened to him. Now his life is in danger because of me. I'll never forgive myself if something happens to him.
It's not your fault. None of us could have predicted this.
Did you guys hear that?
Yeah. It sounded like it was coming from behind this door. What I saw upon entering that room will stay with me forever. It was jarring and impossible to absorb at first. My senses told me what I was seeing was a lie, and that my eyes were playing tricks. But the longer I stared, the more I began to believe them. The butler, who we had at some point realized was evil, was miraculously down in the basement with us, in this massive, cavernous room. It reminded me of the Batcave, an underground lair hidden behind a plain wooden door in the mansion of a madman. Stalactites hung from the ceiling and water dripped from them steadily, forming puddles on the rock floor. Bats flapped their wings and swooped down, assaulting us. I tried to turn around and leave, but the door quickly slammed shut and sealed the three of us in the damp, chilly tomb.
Ah, the three of you are here just in time to meet the Master. He's been dying to meet you all, but he can only absorb so many of you at once.
The mad butler broke off in a cackling laughter and began to howl and belly laugh as I finally saw who he was referring to. In the shadows behind Jeeves, there was a dark, looming shape, and the sound of slurping, sucking blood. There was another noise beneath that, like a juice box being drained of all moisture and air, crunched into a deflated shell of its former self. A body dropped limply to the ground, and I saw it was Fiona Fair. In the shadows nearby, there was Walter's pale and lifeless form. Otto was nearby as well, breathing his last gasping intakes of air.
Run, if you know what's good for you. Don't try to save us. We're already dead.
What the hell is that thing?
I don't know. Looks like it's made of shadows.
You can't get away. The host has you now. This is his domain. You stumbled into his sanctuary, and now he will never release you.
Away from them, you shadowed demon piece of shit. Eat holy water.
Tommy, where did you get holy water from? And how did you know that would work?
I didn't! And it's just toilet water with a quick sign of the cross over the top and a Hail Mary for good measure. Guess my good old Catholic middle school indoctrination is finally paying off.
I guess so. I might have to convert after this. Or before.
Let's get the hell out of here!
You don't need to tell me twice. I'm right behind you.
Shit. Bill, are you okay?
It's too late for your friend, I'm afraid.
Actually, we really don't know him that well. We literally just met.
Who the hell was that dude?
Never mind, just run!
Where are we running to? We're trapped down here.
Actually managed to get the basement door open. How else do you think I found you?
Where the hell have you been this whole time anyways, Tommy?
Don't make me say it, man. You know I got IBS.
You gotta be kidding. I guess the bathroom is a no-go zone for evil spirits. Maybe we all should have hidden out in there.
Nah, you're gonna want to stay out of the bathroom for a good 20 to 30 minutes. But I did find something interesting out about Fiona Fair, the famous TikTok dance trendsetter who we just saw murdered.
What's that?
He died 6 months ago on this exact mountain. Her parents drove the car off the edge of a cliff.
We emerged onto the main floor of the house, and much to my surprise, Jeeves was standing to our right, and the host, whatever the hell that was standing in front of us.
Ah, tisk tisk tisk. Now that's no way to treat your host. The one who fed you, took you in from the cold, warmed you by the heat of the fire. He gave you drink and lodging and comfort, and what do you give him in return?
Return?
Yes, that's right. Turn around and march yourselves right back into that basement, you naughty children. All you do is misbehave, and it's time you learned your lesson. Isn't that right?
Oh no! Why am I turning around? Why am I listening to him? I don't want to go back down there. Somebody stop him!
I'll save you, my lady.
In that moment, the most unlikely hero of all came to our aid. The man who everyone thought was an ass-grabbing twat was about to save us. Dick had a bottle of liquor clutched in his hand, which he stuffed a napkin into. Setting it ablaze with the heat of the fire, his eyes wide and crazed, he tried to get it lit. But now the fireplace was beginning to sputter, its flame being quenched by the chill, freezing cold shadow of the dark form, which branched out everywhere like a million-armed octopus made of darkness. For a moment it looked as if the napkin itself would finally snuff out that once glorious fire for good, as it guttered and nearly disappeared. But then it sparked up suddenly in a great gout of orange, flickering flame, and Dick turned around with the bottle in his hands looking triumphant, despite not knowing if his efforts would amount to anything. With a howling war cry, he threw the flaming Molotov cocktail of expensive liquor at the enormous shadow which consumed the foyer in darkness. Even Jeeves looked surprised as the bottle smashed upon its hindquarters, and the demon caught fire like flash paper, setting alight and glowing bright white like a welding torch, so hot it burnt my eyes. When I opened them, we were standing outside again, in the snow, just as we'd been the night prior. I saw that we'd been in the manor all night without realizing it, as the sun was now up over the eastern horizon. The sky was blue, and the storm had cleared sometime during the night. Even the snow seemed to be melting in the heat of the sun, as Tommy and I walked on jello legs towards the car.
I told you we shouldn't have stopped here.
You just can't help but rub it in, can you?
Look at the car! It's buried up to the tits! We're never gonna get it out!
That was when I saw the tow truck. Maybe the very same one from the night before, that I wished we'd followed the rest of the way across the mountain pass. Then again, maybe we would have died if we had attempted that. Maybe we really would have gone off a cliff and become ghosts. The two of us walked carefully up to the window of the tow truck, unsure what to make of the driver. He looked alright, but then again, appearances can be deceiving. Hey, you guys alright? Where's your car? What do you mean? We were staying at that old manor. The bed and breakfast.
Alan? Might want to turn around.
Not now, man. I'm talking to this guy. Don't be rude. You guys stayed at an old manor last night? Right here? Yeah. And holy shit, let me tell you, it was one hell of a night. Yeah, I'll bet it was.
Alan, you really need to turn around. It's really important.
Shit, man. The other guys told me this could happen up here. I'm sorry, man. I can't help you. Just please don't, haunt me or anything, okay? I'm sorry. I gotta go. The driver sped off, and Tommy and I were left alone again in the cold, howling wind on top of the mountain. Left to dig ourselves out of the snow, I thought. But as it turned out, we wouldn't have to. Wonder what that guy was so bent out of shape about. Alright, Tommy, what is it that couldn't wait?
I'm sorry to be the one to tell you this. I think we might be dead.
I looked ahead to where the manor had been. The place where we'd been through so much the night before. But it wasn't there. In its place was empty sky, and mountains beyond that. A beautiful view and a broken, bent guardrail. There was no driveway leading to an old manor. There was no car covered in snow for us to dig out. The wreckage of our vehicle was somewhere far down below, impaled on rocks, where our corpses rested with it, waiting to be found. I had never believed in an afterlife, in heaven or hell. But, as it turns out, purgatory is a real place. A place where souls become trapped. I don't really know if that's what Sanguine Manor was, but it rings true to me. That mansion was a limbo between life and death. A place where we experienced our greatest fears and our lifelong fantasies. A place where nothing exists except your desires, your fears, your hopes and dreams. Tommy had been obsessed with horror podcasts for years. He had always wanted to be a part of one of those stories, as strange as that sounds. I, on the other hand, had always wanted to do a murder mystery dinner theater experience. Just like Lilith, Walter, Otto, and the others. I guess it's a popular fantasy. This place, and the monster who lived within it, trapped us with our desires. Then, fed off of our fears. It lured us here, and would have consumed us if not for our escape. I saw the people who we'd met inside the mansion, their translucent forms shining in the early morning air. Everyone except for Jeeves, and that thing. I got the feeling they were somewhere else now, getting what they deserved.
That thing was holding us here, taking what was left of our life force and draining it away, using it to feed its own unholy existence. I don't know what it was, but I think you got rid of it.
We're free now. Thank you.
It was nothing, really.
Not you. Dick. You saved us, Dick. Thank you. I'm so sorry for all the terrible things I said about you. I'm sorry I called you a coward and a filthy dog and a...
Oh, don't stop.
Come to me, my love.
I prefer if you went back to calling me a dog, actually. I'm a bit unusual like that.
So I guess the afterlife is just as fucking weird as regular life. That's great.
And so, that's the story of how my partner Tommy and I died. As well as the journey we took through a brief purgatory-like state afterwards. I like to think I learned something during my time in the manor. Otherwise, what the hell was the point? But then again, maybe it was just a quick loading screen before the afterlife. Either way, that's all you'll hear from me for now. Just one last piece of advice before I depart. Don't drive through a mountain pass at night during a blizzard. Stop somewhere and spend the night. Wait out the bad weather. Or come join us at the Dead and Breakfast. I have a lot of people to thank for helping to make this video possible, so I'll try not to forget anybody. First of all, to you, the listener, thank you. This story and this video would not have existed without you. You're all the reason why I enjoy doing this so much, and I wouldn't be here without you. Second, I'd like to thank the awesome cast of writers and YouTube horror narrators who helped make this video a reality. I'll include a link in the description to their socials, their books, their channels. Please support these guys and show them some big love. They did this for free out of the kindness of their hearts, and I owe them big time. The majority of the cast are horror writers by trade, so please check out their work. You may recognize many of their names as contributors of previous stories featured on the channel. Without further ado, I'd like to thank the cast of Dead and Breakfast. Travis Brown, aka Grand Theft Motto, played Tommy. Jesse Pullins, aka A Hawaiian Shirt, played Walter. Johnny, aka Beardify, was the Traveler, and assisted with additional lines during rehearsal. Ryan Major, aka G-Trip14, played Bill Burgundy. Renee Wren, aka Ren Ryder, was Otto von Augustine. commongrackle, played Fiona Fair. Grant Hinton, aka A Clockwork Monkey, played Dick Devonshire. Musey's Modern Dreadfuls played Lilith Lavender. And finally, last but certainly not least, The great Baron Landred played the evil and mysterious Butler. I'd also like to thank the creators of the Hey Riddle Riddle podcast, who make my favorite weekly comedy podcast. Their episode of fake movie trailers inspired the title Dead and Breakfast. I hope you'll check out their show. Finally, a huge thanks to all my Patreon members and channel members. All of you help so much to keep this channel going, and I can't thank you enough for your support. Once again, thank you all for listening and for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please share it and hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you can. This helps more than you can possibly imagine. Become a channel member today for early access to videos and special emojis only available to members. Check out the description below or click the join button for more info. Today's video was supported by patrons like Mark from Earth, Crimson Muse, Joy Burton, Diane Showers, Mark Sewall, Cheryl James, Pick Your Sticker, Teddy Dog, Clue 404, Mama Cotto, Dante Kincaid, Zarin Ray, Angela Donovan, Blarian50, Devin Kyle, Timothy Baird, Ajetti, Bert Turner, Bajani Espinal, Michael Pierce, Big Joe, Gary Harkonnen, LaDonna Spivey, Scott Tanaka, Tom Stewart, Sherman Davis, Bryce Shelton, Susan McClendon, Elise Batiste, Lisa and the Cult Jam, Open Circuit, Fabulavore, Raymond Jaggers, That Darn Fox, Raison Detra, Kai Gaming 99, Wendy Burns, The Wendigo, Michael Squishy Park, The Gemstar, Vault 77 Citizen, Puppy Dan, Clovis Wolf, Elder Gelm, Derek Prey, Elder Being, KC Hawaii, Rob T, Tragic Mermaid, Darren Fishnaller, Cloves Anoya Harris, Roe Underwood, Florida Man Luke, Bethany's Mom, Winter's Kiss, Sam Brook, The White Stag, Corgi Connection, No Name, Marta Cara, Professor Elm, Kathy Barrickman, Cybard Sands, Steve Hennessy, Melanie Sanders, The Archivist, Rob Smith, Term 4, Naz Razio. If you'd like to help support the channel, please consider joining my Patreon page at patreon.com/Jordan Grupe Horror. As a patron, you'll get access to bonus videos and content, as well as a Discord channel. You'll be credited at the end of every video going forward, and if you decide to stay for 3 months, I'll name a character after you which will be featured in a Hollow's End story. Links to join the Patreon are in the description. Thanks everyone for listening. Please like, subscribe, and comment to help the channel to continue to grow. Really does help out a lot. And see you again next time at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hope you have a great night.